What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to an all-new Let's Play Hearts of Iron 4, where we are continuing the Soviet Union World Conquest, and we are on the 23rd of February, 1939. Looking around the map, we are still finishing up our final dockyard, and obviously from here on out, I believe we're going to go ahead and be producing nothing but military factories to basically strengthen our foothold inside Europe. Let's actually build about 15 more. 14 and 15. Just for good luck, we'll get 20. And so the entire goal is we might actually build a little bit more of a naval presence as well. It's not really required, but maybe pushing 2 to the top and trying our best there. Looking at our research technologies, still obviously improving our weapons, still obviously improving all of our industry. And that's about it. We are definitely not in a war right now. And the fall of Nanjing, so obviously Japan is kicking butt, taking names. One other thing I want to point out, do we actually have 4 troops inside North Sakhalin? No, we do not. Let's take 4 of these troops and move them on over, just in case. I am planning on adding a variety of additional units. Let's go ahead and activate you in case we ever do go to war with Japan. Research City Experiment has been unlocked. Obviously making our way closer and closer to a closed city network. Sometimes my mouse gets locked, I don't know why. But anyway, so what we're going to be doing now, looking at production, Construction 3 has been unlocked. If we look at all of our tactical bombers and we look at all of our fighters, we actually have the ability to rapidly improve our previous fighters. So I think we're going to go ahead and do that. Rather than doing 1 a day, we're going to do about 3 to 4 a day. And then rather than 3.7 a week, it's going to be about 1.28 a day. So obviously all of these tactical bombers are now going to have a lot more range. Same thing with the fighters. I think they're going to have more agility as well. Alright, our next goal is to move down into mass mobilization, which is our mass assault doctrine. We're going to have a less division attrition and a lot more better tactics called mass charge. 73 days. I think very soon we're probably going to go ahead and start producing some carriers. I don't think we really need all that many, but I would definitely like to get roughly 4 or 5 carriers to at least protect the the Pacific Ocean. And obviously we have 0 carriers, so we're going to have to research the 1922 variant. Italy has joined the Axis. Poland has joined the Allies. This is looking a little dangerous. And because I know it's going to be quite some time before we actually unlock the carrier, I'm going to only produce 1 of these battleships, and just to be safe, going to put it in Vladivostok. If we ever do go to war with Japan, we should definitely be prepped and ready to go. Most of these conversions are just about done. Currently, there is no equipment in stock that we can change, and it looks like 283 fighters are all that's left. And it's funny because we're still producing... Oh, no. We're not actually making any additional fighters, which I find funny. Let's go ahead, just to be safe, move those 3 naval dockyards to the top. And ultimately, I'm looking at our research slots that are available. I think it would be in our best interest to go ahead and start unlocking better engineering companies, because we would have a lot more entrenchment, and that means we would definitely be a lot harder to conquer. Alright, diversify the program, and we've unlocked brand new weapons. Definitely going to go with a closed city network, because I absolutely want that. Alright, we are in 1939. It would make a ton of sense to get better radar. I think I'm going to get close air support, though. I get that I don't have the rubber, and I get that, it's going to be very costly, but I think that's something we're going to need to invest in. Let's go ahead and get the better infantry equipment, and what's cool is, yes, it does cost a little bit more, to go ahead and produce. I believe it actually costs more steel, but they do have a lot more soft attack, and they have hard attack as well. It's not a lot, but if the enemy ever does come on through, we're definitely going to be a lot more better positioned. Now, obviously, as we switch over production, the Q went from 80% production efficiency down to about 20%. So obviously it's something we're going to work on. The People's Army has finally been unlocked. Let's make our way down to infantry offensive, giving us a recovery rate of 30%, which doesn't seem like a lot, but man, is that powerful. Alright, that battleship says it will be done on the 6th of May, 1943. And, looks like we now have the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact. So basically, the Molotov and Ribbentrop were Molotov and Ribbentrop were both politicians, and ultimately it means a unity between the German Reich and the Soviet Union. Now, obviously, we are communist, the German Reich is fascist, so they obviously hate each other. But Germany wants to go ahead and take over Poland, but they are scared that we're going to help out Poland, and then they're going to get annihilated. So what we've done is we've signed this treaty saying if Germany gets Poland, we get half of Poland, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, and Finland. And we are obviously going to go ahead and do that. So, we also get Bessarabia, but we already conquered Bessarabia. So we are going to play as historical as possible. If you'd like to read this, you certainly can. Just pause the game. Okay, looking around, our military factories are being produced. We are definitely producing those anti-tanks. I think the next thing we need is actually support equipment before we get infantry equipment. And then we are going to go ahead and potentially build those bombers. France has banned communism. That is obviously a little unfortunate because it would have been cool if France was my ally, but we are playing a historical playthrough. All of this communistic popularity is slowly dissipating. And I believe the German Reich, once they declare war on Poland, they're going to switch on over and declare war on France. And keep in mind, for the last couple of years, Germany has been doing nothing but building up their military. So obviously they are very superior, very powerful. We have 150 political power, so let's go ahead and finally hire Alexander Yegorov, giving all of our divisions extra defense. Now, I know that doesn't seem like a lot, but it certainly is very helpful. Now that we have the 1922 carrier, let's go ahead and unlock the 1936 variant. Alright, we now have closed city network. I'm looking around the map to see if there's really anything of importance I'd like to unlock. Obviously, I would like to get base strike, carrier organization, and port strike efficiency. It would be nice to get operational integrity. We're not in 1940 yet. I feel like what we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and unlock the very weak but very effective support equipment. So it's going to be giving us a lot of defense and a lot of breakthrough. Do we need it? No. But I'm hoping, it's one less thing that we need to research. Oh, looks like we have no national focus, so let's go ahead and get the aviation cult. It's going to give us a lot of research modifiers to our new planes, and I feel like what we're going to be building is the better fighter very soon. And the reason why is because we obviously are going to be producing quite a bit of these, and they already have a lot more range, so it's going to be pretty awesome. Alright, research slot available. We finally finished up People's Army, infantry offensive, and now we're going to do large front offensive. Now, we don't have any modifiers, so it's 225 days. But all of our infantry and some of our tanks are going to get a lot more health, so that means they fight a lot longer. Poland refuses the German ultimatum. We are now in World War II. Italy has declared war on France. We are definitely a little skeptical about what's going to happen. But let's actually take a glance at Estonia. We are going to justify a war goal against Tartu. And the reason why is now that the German Reich has declared war, we are free to go ahead and conquer everybody else. I know that sounds awful, but that is what happened in real life. Though I don't know if Finland actually fell. I'm going to have to look at a map. I'm producing a lot more infantry, equipment. I need to get a lot more military factories. I probably might as well go ahead and build maybe 2 additional dockyards and push those to the top. In fact, I think I'll build 3. And because our economy is so powerful, Now, don't get me wrong, a lot of other countries are, you know, pretty powerful, but they focused on military expansion. If we look at the German Reich, they have about 90 military factories, and, you know, we've got about 85 as well. But we have a heck of a lot better industry than the German Reich. But sadly, once they go ahead and they take over the Netherlands, Belgium, Poland, I mean, their industry is just going to explode and explode in growth. Alright, I'm looking around the map. Estonia, our war against Estonia is obviously going to happen soon enough. I would like to hopefully win the war through the pen rather than the sword. So what I want to do is basically conquer them diplomatically. I have no idea if this is going to work or if it's going to be viable. But that doesn't mean we can't try. Let's go ahead and get the better radar. And very soon I might actually want to... Okay, so here we go. Suppress Estonia. We are going to send them an ultimatum. And it's only 2 provinces, but I would absolutely like to go ahead and conquer all of them without actually fighting. Now, I have no idea if it's going to work. No idea if it won't. Alright, Estonia submits. So we were able to conquer them without actually doing anything at all. And so we've gained some dockyards. I'm going to now go ahead and remaneuver our troops. In fact, let's take all of our tanks and put them in Moscow. Yeah, so I'm very, very happy. That worked out our favor. Let's try to do the same thing with Latvia. For some reason, it works most of the time, but sometimes it does not ever work. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to take Latvia now through the same conquests. Now, obviously, the war with Poland is not... Oh, well, there it goes. The war with Poland has ended, so the German Reich should give us some territory. I've never actually seen them not give us territory. Let's go ahead and unlock better air doctrines. And so any moment now, we're probably going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 new provinces. Netherlands has joined the Allies. Here we go. Germany honors the pact. We have just gained not only all of Estonia, but, oh, we gained this province as well. Was not expecting that. Well, obviously I played before, but I don't know why. I just forgot that one. Looking around, so now my #1 priority is probably to get better fighter variants because they have a lot more range. So let's do that now. And USSR occupies Eastern... you know what? What did that say? I don't know. Oh, it was probably Latvia. Oh, Eastern Poland. Alright, we're now going to take all 72 of these troops, actually maneuver them on up to our new front line. And it might make a ton of sense to just outright, you know, grow our defense by potentially building some actual forts. But I don't know what we're going to do yet. I do know that I need about 24 Mountaineer divisions. In fact, I'm probably going to need about 48. So let's build another 24. No location, no location. I understand that we are going to need logistics companies, which is basically going to give us a lot more supply. Signal companies, we can respond to situations faster. We are going to put down a few infantry equipment, a few infantry units to make these guys more beefy. So they're going to be, they're not really going to be stronger, they're just going to be healthier. A lot harder to take down. Now, don't get me wrong, they'll be stronger as well, but that's not what we're aiming for. If we wanted to be stronger, we'd put on artillery or anti-tank. Let's go ahead and add a field hospital, logistics company, and a signal company to our mountaineers. And let's make them beefier as well. Now, as we add more mountaineers, it obviously takes up support equipment, and it obviously takes up infantry equipment as well. So we're going from 107,000 down to 25,000. Looks like we can oppress Latvia. I'm hoping this works. I certainly have no idea, but we need a lot of support equipment to really make this work for us. Let's actually go ahead and add more infantry units. I will gladly add more later. The Netherlands and Luxembourg have capitulated. Belgium has capitulated. Latvia submits. So without doing anything at all, we've taken Latvia, gaining all of their factories. Same thing with Estonia. And finally, we are going to make our way to Lithuania. Now I have no idea if this will work as well. But if this works, I will gladly accept it. Alright, we are going to send them the ultimatum, and then eventually we're going to start focusing on Finland. We have 79% world tension. So obviously the world is, you know, very, very upset. The German Reich has created... Yep, Lithuania submits. That was working out perfect. Let's go ahead and put these 8 units inside this group, led by Alexander Gorbachev. We are now going to make this go all the way to Germany. I see this as red. That doesn't make sense. Okay, research slot available. It's almost 1940, but it's not quite there yet. I think what we're going to do is unlock excavation 2. We're going to get a lot more resource efficiency. Looking at our free military factories, I'm going to boost this to the top, boost that to the top, and just because I like it for simplicity reasons, I like all my weapons in the top and then my support equipment just under. So I feel like what I need to do now, I am going to be building a lot more motorized soon enough, but I think we're going to need anti-tank. So let's build those, because obviously we have a bunch of infantry, and if we ever did go to war with the German Reich, hint, hint, you know, we're going to need to be able to stop their, you know, very powerful pushes. So that's what we're going to try to do. And I suppose I'm looking at these battleships that we're trying to produce. Let's go ahead and produce those other 5 dockyards. So we're going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and I guess we could build one inside northern Russia. I'm going to push all of these to the top just because I can, and I'm guessing, so we're going to get this next variant incredibly soon. So we're finally going to be building carriers, but sadly, they don't really have any support ships. So if we ever did go to war with somebody, you know, I feel like, don't get me wrong, our carriers would provide a lot of defense, but if we went against a big navy, the carrier would be the #1 target. Alright, just like that, we finally unlocked the better fighter, and I suppose we're going to start producing close air support as well. I don't know if we need a lot. I think we're going to build 5. And now that we have 3 additional rubber, I'm going to put 2 into motorized and 1 into my fighter. Eventually, I'm going to be adding more rubber, so sadly I'm giving away a civilian factory for that. And I believe we are now going to go ahead and start unlocking this naval bomber. Do we need it? No, but, you know, it could certainly help us in time. In fact, I think we're going to definitely need 15 more naval dockyards. I just don't want to do anything too crazy right now. Transpolar flights have been unlocked. Let's improve the rail infrastructure inside. Every time I look at this, it's always different, but I'm guessing it's going to be inside this area now. Alright, starting to work on the level 3 carrier, which is actually the 1940 variant. So I'm hoping that these things will go according to plan. I only want to produce 1 battleship for now. This one will be done on the 21st of May, so that obviously is a few months away. But as we get more and more dockyards, that number is going to go down. We have still waiting on a lot of resources, but sadly I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and deploy these mountaineers anyway. Whoops. That is not deployment. And all 24 of you will, of course, join Alexander Gorbachev, but you are now going to be moved against all of these mountainous, hilly terrains inside, or at least against the Kingdom of Hungary. Yeah, I'm definitely going to need a lot more equipment. It says I have 58,000, but I need a lot more support equipment, and I don't really know the best way to go about that. The battleship has been finished up. I don't know if I really want to build a level 2 carrier just yet. It's going to take roughly 9,500 production, but everything else is pretty garbage. Let's build 1 heavy cruiser. And I'm hoping by the time we get that new carrier, things will go in our favor. Alright, we've improved the radar. I feel like our next priority is, well, it's 1940, so we're looking at engineering. I want to scroll down and get the improved computing machine. And though it doesn't look like a lot, but the research time bonus, minus 5% across the board, is absolutely what I'm going to want to do. Alright, well, our naval production is definitely growing. I feel like our #1 priority, though, is going to be not only to stop the German Reich, but we got to fight Yugoslavia, most likely, assuming that they're Axis. They can either swing to the Allies or the Axis. I'm not sure which way they're going to go. But yeah, we're definitely going to have a hard time fighting all of these, all of the Germans. And so my best option is to basically just play defensive, whittle them down. And one of my biggest goals, German interest in Scandinavia, oh my goodness. One of my biggest goals is to basically, looking at the German Reich, they already have extensive conscription, and very soon they're going to have service by requirement. So a lot of the people that are working in the factories are eventually going to go ahead and join the military, so that's going to slow down their production. And that's what I need to have happen. Looking at our political power, let's go ahead and invest inside an limited exports idea group. And so basically we've changed our resource, or better yet, our economy law, or our export law, that's what it is. And so basically we are enforcing most of our miners and most of our resource gatherers to, they're not allowed to sell as many commodities. So just in a second and about the next day, there you go, we've gained a bunch of additional resources, and that's only going to improve as we continue our excavation. But yeah, we are definitely gearing up for war. Things are looking very, very well. Sadly, we still need a lot of these support equipment that we just don't have. And I absolutely want to go ahead and make a much stronger defense inside the eastern side of our country. Now, I feel like I need to go ahead and produce more military factories, but what I'm going to do is actually start pumping out some dockyards. And the reason why is I'm not going to go crazy with my navy, but I want to be able to defend myself fairly easily. I am going to need to, looking at defense, let's make all of these the most powerful infantry unit we can. We are going to be adding one small anti-tank division for now, and then the same thing with the Mountaineers. I don't know if I'm going to necessarily add, whoops, I don't know if I'm necessarily going to add that anti-tank in, but we have a lot of people that need weapons, so we're missing 51,000, though obviously that'll improve in time. We need a lot more support equipment, and there's nothing we can really do about that early on. It says it's going to be 317 days, though we're going to be producing a lot more troops as well in the meantime. So I don't know, it is what it is. I'm kind of curious if we think we need another support equipment variant. Obviously the production efficiency is going to improve, and that means that number is going to dissipate. But I think what we should do is obviously, because we're in 1940, we can definitely get a better anti-tank, which I think we should start working on. And we should probably get a bunch of other division improvements as well. Large front offensive is almost done. We're still missing 45,000 infantry equipment. And actually, the anti-tanks are almost done as well. We're also going to be, obviously, putting up more divisions of anti-tanks inside all of our infantry. But yeah, once our battleships and our heavy cruisers are done, in 48 days I'm planning to construct 2 carriers. Large front offensive, just about done as well. All of our infantry finally gaining more health. And what's amazing is now we're going to go with a human wave offensive, so not only are we going to have a better combat width, but we're about to gain, rather than the 3% we gained earlier, we're about to gain another 5% recruitable population. So this is World Conquest material. It looks like we are out of military factories. I don't know what we're going to invest in. It would make the most amount of sense. Can I build any naval bombers? Yes, I can. It would make the most amount of sense to use roughly 8 rubber, and I guess we're going to do exactly that. So now I need 8 rubber. It says they can't export enough, so let's go ahead and get some from British Malaysia. Okay, now I've got the rubber I need. I am now going to produce, I guess, a light cruiser. These are literally garbage. I don't need either of them. In fact, I should probably produce... Yeah, that's the cheapest thing I can get. I could get destroyers, but we're really only looking at 41 days. This is about 41 days. I don't know. So let's get another light cruiser. We're only going to be producing one of each. And you can go inside Vladivostok. And these are 1922 variants, so obviously they're not very good. But that's going to be my goal, finally building up our military tech. There goes the excavation we were looking for. In fact, I get that it's 1940. I should probably build the carrier version of our fighters. But I think my number one priority, we already have engineering companies. Let's go ahead and get signal companies. So it's going to be giving us more initiative, which supposedly, the quicker it gets its planning done and the quicker it can reinforce into a battle. So that means it's we're definitely going to be able to maneuver around and definitely fight the enemy. I guess we've got a bunch of free dockyards, supposedly 2. We're going to be building 1 small destroyer inside Vladivostok, and then we'll figure out exactly what we're going to do very, very soon. Alright, well, sadly enough, I think I am going to end this episode. So thank you all so much for joining me. Hope you all have an awesome... Oh, actually, let's found the PDCI, because I have nothing else to do. And I guess I'm going to end this episode. And our next goal, in our next episode, we're going to be attacking Finland, taking our claimed territory. And thank you again, guys. Have a good one.